Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's time for some Saturday morning React-TOONS, this time featuring Robotech, episode 63, Lonely Soldier Boy. I've been enjoying New Generation, can't wait to see where this goes, and it seems like we're kind of getting introduced to a new character each and every time we tune in for an episode, friends. We'll see what happens in this one. Before we get started, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for some Saturday morning React-TOONS. And of course, if there's anything that we do, Robotech included, that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. But my dear friends, all that is then, this is now, and now it's time for the 63rd episode of Robotech, Lonely Soldier Boy. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go! Fanfare! Fair! I had someone ask me, do you plan what your fanfares are going to be? Like how you're going to deliver them? My answer was, does it look like I do? If that's preparation, oh, no, that is me not knowing what the hell I'm doing at any given time. I'm going to go ahead and say this. This is a definitive statement that I can make right now. The Invid are probably the coolest looking enemy force we've had so far. I mean, I think they're cooler looking than the Bioroids. I think they're cooler looking than like the Zentradi battle pods. I'd probably give the edge to like Chiron's battle pod. I thought that was a really cool design, but still, the Invid just look dope. They look like crabs, insects, really cool shit. All right, Rand, what do you got?
Last episode, Scott and Rand.
Or Scott, God, my God, Scott, Bernard, and Rand.
It was only through the intervention of the mysterious Cyclone Rider that the trio was finally able to escape and continue on their mission to destroy Reflex Point.
Looks like RC from Transformers, the color scheme.
By attending a concert performed by Yellow Dancer, a popular rock star following in the footsteps of Lin Min Mei.
Oh, Yellow Dancer. Well, see, things seem to be going okay here. Oh, that's the song. Lonely Soldier Boy's the song.
Meanwhile, on the outskirts of this rubble-strewn city, the skies are alive with Invid scouts.
The skies are alive. Nice.
They're responsible for this.
Come on, it's not all their fault. These folks could have cleaned up their city if they really wanted to. The fact that they didn't means they're really just a bunch of lazy slop.
But these people have been devastated by war. Can you really blame them?
It wouldn't kill them to sweep up once in a while.
They listen to Yellow Dancer, baby.
Hey, babyface. Yeah, you with the microphone. Me and my friends don't like your music.
Then what the hell are you doing here?
Oh, yeah?
There, now we're even. So how about calling it quits, huh, fellas?
This guy's apparently...
Gentlemen, if you can't control yourself, I'm going to have to ask.
Hey, mind your own business, Gramps.
Listen, Stanley, we probably need a official bouncer.
Maybe if two of you held her down while the others ran for reinforcements, then you might have a chance.
Oh, a comedian. It's too bad me and the boys have terrible senses of humor.
Well, you're music lovers and you have great senses of humor.
My boy, she's mine.
Haven't you already... Oh, that was his throat.
You almost killed me.
Well, come at me again and let's see if I can get it right. Okay with you?
Great line.
It's her. You know her? She's the one who helped us out the other day. You remember the girl on the cyclone?
How can you tell? Whoa.
What? I happen to be a pretty good judge of these things. She can handle herself.
But they'll kill her.
I happen to be a pretty good judge of these things. All of a sudden, it's just embedded into her eye or something. Oh, I made a mistake.
Wow. Hey, wait a second.
Now help her.
May I have this dance?
Give me that, you.
Now help her.
Hold it tight, movie.
Hold it. Just a minute.
Nice, Rand.
Hey, I'm gonna smash you for that.
Or
All right, get out of here, all of you.
Okay, buddy, but this ain't over yet. I promise you.
you literally brought a knife to a gunfight.
Wow, it can't be! Oh boy, I don't believe it! Listen, I know it's silly, but would you give me your autograph?
It would be my pleasure.
And remember, you didn't want to be in this town.
Huh?
Hey, Scott, that's Yellow Dancer. Haven't you ever heard of her?
No, Annie, I'm afraid I haven't.
I was born and have lived in space.
Yes, but what about the local authorities? Have you thought of asking them to do something?
You don't understand. Hoodlums like those are the local authorities.
Well, great.
This is terrific. There's nothing like a little man that's to pick you up when you're feeling down. Ah, I think we got him.
Dear God, we've gone like full Mad Max. So they aren't interested in your vehicle or goods. They simply want to murder you. Oh my God. Dude, Serpentine.
You again. You're really getting on my nerves.
Hold it.
Oh, we're going to end this now.
Guy, hey, Lunk, if you want to see your friend, come on out to the ranch. If you got the guts, that is.
Hey, Lunk, you're not just gonna walk away.
Lunk?
A friend like you, a guy doesn't really need any enemies, does he?
Lunk, what's the matter?
What's the matter?
About 5 miles.
Now wait just a second, Scott. Have you gone crazy? You're not seriously considering going out to that ranch, are you?
Why not?
That ranch is more like a fortress.
2 Cyclone Riders? I think you got it.
Slow
3?
down. What's the big...
I don't think that Rand has his suit up yet, though.
I won't let those bums make a monkey out of me.
Atta boy.
You're right, Spider. Kevin's our friend. We just...
Spider?
Go ahead and take mine, and don't worry about paying. It's free of charge.
Ha! Thanks, Mac.
Here's a free vehicle in the post-apocalypse.
I just found the man of my dreams.
Annie has no problem just going with anybody.
The hastily assembled crew thunders out of town to rescue Lunk's captured comrade. In a matter of minutes, they have reached their objective. In this lawless time, the old adage, might makes right, is more true than ever. There are no police, no courts of law.
Let the Cyclones take this.
He knows that this is the first battle in a desperate campaign against the tides of anarchy, which threaten to engulf the earth.
Nice. Looks like he did get, Rand. Yep, Rand's got a suit.
No offense, Spider, but I can handle this thing better with just me on it.
Okay, but be careful, will you?
Forget it. I'm tired of being careful.
Okay.
Rand, be sure not to fire your proton cannon, no matter what, okay? I don't want any of these goons getting injured.
Yeah, gotcha.
They're gonna try to kill us, but...
Hey, Lucky Boy, I can hear your knees knocking together. Listen, things are gonna start getting ugly in a second, so you better take off now while you still got a chance to save your skin.
Ah, come on now.
But you see, the Invid hate soldiers, and since we don't like them much ourselves, we decided to help out by knocking off any we came across.
You're giving us a lot of explanation, but...
So either you back off or we blow you away. And believe me, we got the firepower to do it, with room to spare.
Yep, let's see.
You and your little friends, just stay out of this.
Boy, what a windbag.
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's move.
And you're dead. Everybody run into this wooden house. Nice.
What's wrong with this thing? Just calm down and stop bashing away at it. What? Treat it gently.
What do you mean treat it gently?
That's the opposite of what you're doing.
I can't escape it. And I thought I'd never be fighting again.
Well, technically, Lunk, you are not fighting. You are watching a fight.
Okay, gently now.
There we go, bud. I'm not sure this is the testing that we needed to do with Rand, but... Ooh, shit. I mean, Scott should be the best in this thing. I don't know what the girl's background is, but...
You were never a member of the Space Battalions, were you? Yeah. Well, can you fly a Veritech?
What? Do you have one? Mm-hmm. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Really?
Brother, if I hang around with this guy long enough, I'm gonna get myself killed for sure.
What's the matter? Your joints rusting up on you or something?
Huh?
I don't know. I didn't get shot down.
Hey, now, wait a minute, sister. It's not like I'm even supposed to be here. Technically, I'm a non-combatant.
Technically, I'm a non-com.
Lunk would never risk his neck for anybody. Come on, Spider, you're pulling my leg.
No, it's true.
Huh? I guess sometimes you can be wrong about people.
I guess so.
Quiet! It's because I'm mad, bonehead. Mad, mad, mad. Yeah, boss, yeah.
Okay.
There it is. Hurry up.
Well, you're leading them right to it, so hopefully...
Climb on, she's ready to fly. You gotta be kidding. Who's been maintaining it? Hey, listen, I'm not as stupid as I seem to be. Maintenance engineer. I mean, I used to be. Trust me, this baby will fly like a dream.
He's a mech? That's a cool shot. Him tucking in his hair. Come on, Scott. There's 3 of them, bud.
I'll never be able to power up fast enough to get her out of here.
Ooh.
That's all the time I needed. Got it.
We got some heavy weaponry now. That's good. Nice.
What place is that thing? An Alpha Fighter.
It's a what?
She must be military then. She knew what it was. Oh, look at those rocket pods. That might have been slight overkill. Like every rocket battery.
I've decided you're the only one for me.
Well, thanks. I wish I could say the same. I'm a soldier after all. It's time I started acting like one.
But Lunk, use your head, will ya? If the Invid don't get you, the Army will. Either way, you lose. Don't you see that?
Listen, Kevin.
But I thought I was the man of your dreams, Annie.
Oh, I made a decision a long time ago. I'll never marry a soldier.
Well, Lunk, Spider, Kevin. That was their group.
Is she doing what I think she's doing?
Hey, you stop that!
Listen, I don't know what you're trying to prove with all this, but it's not gonna do you any good. You hear me? You can stop.
I figured they had a male voice actor.
Yellow Dancer?
You can start by calling me Lancer. I think the name suits me a little better.
Lancer. Oh, I think somebody told me about Lancer.
How could you do this to me? Your biggest fan!
What? Oh, for God's sakes. Because of this revelation, you don't like the music anymore? Come on. All right, everybody, we just got done watching Robotech, episode 63, Lonely Soldier Boy, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everyone, we just finished Lonely Soldier Boy, the 63rd episode of Robotech. Interesting here. Let's talk about Yellow Dancer and Lancer real quick here. I figured something was up as soon as we heard Yellow Dancer singing, and they had a male voice actor in there. However, I didn't know, like, this being Robotech too, I know that they try to use as many of those reuse voice actors. We've heard several of them from Macross, through Masters, and now New Generation. And I wanted to make sure that, the speculation wasn't not necessarily that Yellow Dancer was Lancer, but that in fact, they weren't just trying to get somebody some work, is what I thought might be going on there. But with the revelation that, Yellow Dancer is in fact Lancer, that's a cool... Again, you're looking at an interesting world, there's a lot of Mad Max type of stuff going on here. There's a lot of like lawlessness. And by Mad Max, I mean like the very first one, which I've just recently seen in the past year, where, there's still kind of like some semblance of civilization, like we've got like cantinas and bars and stuff like that. But again, the rule of law, or the absence of the rule of law, the enforcement of whatever, is done by these gangs more than anything else. Which, I mean, it's an interesting way to set up the world, but I'm glad that they kind of not necessarily rushed through. But in this one, we met Lancer. We asked Lunk. I'm assuming is coming with us. I still don't have a name for the blonde Cyclone Rider. I don't think that they've given her name yet. So if that's going to be, I think that's the number of people that we should have in our group, if the intro is to be, with everybody kind of like staring off in profile. I think that's as many as there should be. I don't think, I didn't see Spider or Kevin in there. I thought that was hilarious. Lunk, Spider, Kevin. I want a shirt. Lunk, Spider, Kevin. Robotech. Really interesting stuff, though. I like the idea too, like we talked about it in one of the other episodes, that you've got tech and basically equipment that either has been abandoned, again, the PDF that is between the Masters and New Generation speaks of them having to leave a ton of stuff behind. When they got on these Dunkirk craft, they had to like take to the stars, and it really wasn't, they didn't have a lot of time to pack. It was like time to get out of here. So I think what they're doing here is we're getting a chance to see a lot of this kind of like discarded tech. At least that's what it appears to be. It looks like that, you got Lunk, who used to be, I'm assuming when they talk about like a mech, he used to be, a mechanic, one of the guys that would like prep the plane, rearm the jets and whatnot, get everything, make sure it's tip top. My grandfather was a mech in World War II. And, it was an interesting little kind of like, I don't want to say like a cottage industry, but it was definitely like a subgroup where the pilots and with the larger craft, like the pilot crews and like the bombers and things like that, they would really get attached to certain mechs, because they knew that with the good mechs they would never be up in the air and something would go wrong, or something hadn't been done. And so my grandfather had a lot of the pilots that he worked with specifically, like he worked specifically on their planes. And I know how much again, and a lot of the stuff I learned about my grandfather was told to me not by him but by others. Anybody that was in that war didn't really talk about it very much, if at all. But I like the idea, so that immediately kind of endeared me to Lunk a little bit. I like the idea that he's making a move. Annie is annoying, but not as bad this episode. I think somebody made a comment like, wait till you get into a larger group and Annie kind of gets like pushed back into the, into the middle distance. You don't hear or see her that much. And I don't want that necessarily. I would like to be able to experience her character. And if she has an arc at all or anything like that, I want to see it. I'm not going to, certainly not going to like write off a character or anything like that, because she's initially not somebody I like. I learned my lesson with Lin Min Mei, who, whenever I initially didn't care for her and then realized that at the end that the Macross saga would not be anything without her. I mean, she was a vital part of that initial story. And so, I'm not writing anybody off for anything, but I like the group as we have set up, but we're really getting that kind of like guerrilla warfare feel to this. Like, like a Force 10 from Navarone type of thing. We're like basically behind enemy lines. We have to kind of keep our heads down. We're looking for reflex point to kind of like, that's the main objective, but like anything that we can take out along the way. I'll tell you one of the subtle things that I liked a lot in there. And it wasn't subtle in its delivery, but it was subtle in its like connotations. That when Scott said, don't use your guns on these thugs. I don't want to hurt anybody. The underlying kind of like message there is we don't have a lot of humans left. And even though these guys are raging assholes, we might need them in the future. And, the human race might need them in the future, which I think is an interesting perspective. I mean, because you can look at it and like say, well, maybe he just didn't want to kill anybody, Well, again, I don't think that he would ever even have made mention of that. You know what I mean? Like if it was like, oh, I'm against killing, or I don't want to kill this group in particular. I don't think that's what it was. And I think that if he personally didn't want to kill anybody, he would have just gone with that. But everybody else, it would have been more like, hey, defend yourselves to the best of your abilities. If they attack you with like lethal force, you do the same. I mean, what did Malcolm Reynolds say? If somebody tries to kill you, you kill them right back. That type of shit. Absolutely love that. But it's a very different feel, and I like that very much. And in a way, it kind of destabilizes, kind of keeps you off balance watching it because you have expectations built up with Robotech. And just like, hey, I'm watching a episode of Robotech. What do I expect from this? I expect like wave after wave of friendly forces, with the Veritechs and with, or the Valkyries and, then the hover tanks. And, I expect like, we have just a ton of armaments and we're going to, big, huge kind of, galactic wars with capital ships. That's what I think of. I think of like these big kind of confrontations, missiles flying everywhere and shit. And we have kind of really pulled that back to the base battle level. We've gone away from like the grand scale conflicts down to like the skirmishes. And I think that is really neat. It's almost like a continuation of what we had with the 15th, where the 15th, we went from the skies and the heavens down to the mud and the blood and the guts with the 15th as they rode on the grounds in their hover tanks. But now the continuation of that is same type of scale of warfare, but even more so scaled back. We don't have this entire squad. We don't have all of this kind of backup that we would have from all the other forces, air support and all that stuff. We've pulled all the way back to literally like freedom fighter levels of personnel and equipment. And that in and of itself is a story we have not heard in Robotech. We have not seen it in Robotech. We have not seen this kind of overwhelming. Now, we've had that where it's like, in the Masters, we were getting our asses kicked all the time, but it would never felt like we were like dramatically like outgunned, like, the overwhelming numbers against, 10-1 or whatever it was. Sometimes it would seem that way, but, it wasn't necessarily something that was made a point of. It was just that they are beating us. They have better equipment. But like there's an underlying quality from the beginning of each episode, all the way through. It's like, stay silent, stay safe. There's scouts everywhere. They make, the narrator even says, we've got people going out and scouting and looking around, trying to find pockets of resistance, anything to eradicate for their global domination that the Invid are, currently in the process of, this eradication or this cleansing as I am assuming, are harvesting the flower of life. Really interesting stuff. But again, we don't have information. We don't know like troop movements from the enemy. Here's the other thing that's very different about this one. We don't have enemy perspective. Before, we would snap over to the Zentradi and see what they were thinking. We would snap over to the Masters and see what they are thinking. We might have some kind of communications between the Invid, but we don't snap over and see what High Command is doing. We don't snap over and see like a discussion among, some ruling figures inside the Invid, battle machine. We don't see any of that. It's all we're isolated, our group's isolated, and we are vastly outnumbered. Good shit. Friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time we go live. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. But my dear friends, all that is then, this is now, and now it's time to say goodbye. So where should we say goodbye from? Well, friends, I say we say goodbye from basically where we ended this episode. A company and a fellowship formed to fight the Invid. It's our time. We were with the 15th. We flew with Skull Squadron. Now it's time for us to join our freedom fighters here as we look for Reflex Point. Until such time as our journey and mission continues, my friends, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.